Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old, to history, to anecdotes, to really wherever our whims take us. It's time for DCeased number 5. From me, Sasha, your late host. Such is the life of reading multiple runs at the same time. But in the future, no one will know that I was late, except for that I told you. It will feel seamless. Time zero and all of that. I actually really like being late. It's a good life. If you're reading multiple runs at the same time, hit that like button. Okay, so DCeased, DC Zombies, the zombie apocalypse spreading across the DC universe. Even if in issue 4, Cyborg stopped to have a couple of panels saying, no, they're not zombies, they're a blight. Make sure that you know the distinction as they kill you, because that's gonna be super important. It's not. Also, I got roasted by a commenter for something that I said back in issue 3, and then I checked. And they may have been right. So at the end of that one, Clark goes to get his Ma and Pa from Smallville, and he finds that Pa Kent has succumbed to, oh no, we need to get rid of one of Clark's parents' syndrome, and it's me. He was infected by John syndrome. So Clark put him in the storm cellar and then boom, heat vision, which I read as him killing him, cause well, these be zombie times and you don't come back from that, it's over. But apparently he just sealed him in there, so he melted the clasp, which yeah, makes sense. I mean, Superman is a living marshmallow, he's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and later on he does refuse to kill somebody else, so it lines up. So yeah, Jonathan, alive in the cellar, still sad, but way less impactful. It also actually makes very little difference to the narrative whether he's alive or dead, but we'll get to that in a bit. But here's the thing I found absolutely fascinating. This is a teachable moment. Our own biases affect how we read things. This is true, and sometimes in ways that we don't even realize and can't predict. Case in point, this panel, he just melts the lock, but in my mind, it went full through the floor, killing, without having to look him in the eye. This is despite everything I know about Superman and how he doesn't kill, usually. So what have you learned about me? Well, now you know you don't want to be on my team in the zombie apocalypse. I'm not waiting for any cure. You're infected, I'm taking you out back. Did you get bit? Turn around. Is that a scratch or a bite? Never mind, I'm not waiting to find out. It's just funny the things our minds fill in based on what we think makes sense. I do kind of think that he should have killed him. It would have been very impactful and sad and depressing. My favorite things. Also, I know I'm not the only one who thought this, so tell me what you thought down below, or am I just really kill happy? I'm ready to go. Zombies. If you missed our last vids, you gotta catch up, and I'll put the links down below the card, and we're gonna get a playlist going, because we're real YouTubers now. Me, royal we. Extreme Flip Notes edition. Zombies everywhere. World crumbling from all fronts. Batman dead. Mantle passed on. Survivors on roof of Daily Planet. Captain Atom infected by the Atom. Detonated over Metropolis. And that's where we left off. Issue 5, go! The cover is really cool. I like the menace it evokes. Also, it's not coming wholly out of nowhere, which I always appreciate. As always, we have to give a variant cover shout out, and I am very partial to this zombified Hal Jordan. It's very eerie. It feels in tone, unlike some of what we're about to witness. Wonder Woman and Superman were unable to save Metropolis or the two cities adjacent to it. However, their group of survivors were saved because of the Green Lantern's protection bubble, and really, they were the only ones we were following anyway, so it's fine. Lex survived because reasons, and also because the narration box wants to call him a cockroach. But him and Clark have a moment that's really heartfelt. Luther by Rao, if you so much as truce. I'm not here to fight you, Superman. I'm not here to add to. Look what happened to our city. I like this. It's a good acknowledgement of, despite the fact that the divide between Clark and Lex is quite wide, they both care about humanity and what happens to it, and especially Metropolis. Although your Lex may vary, that's much more of a modern Lex thing. The Lex who seems to be in humanity needs to achieve its full potential, and you're stifling us, Clark mode. Now the comic goes abruptly into fast forward mode, and time starts to move very rapidly. We're talking weeks? It seems to be weeks. I think weeks. At least days. Several days. 1 week. Time, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. For a while, the comic just dictates a list of events, such as the fact that they shut down the internet. That dramatic moment at the end of 2, their big push, yeah, they do it in 2 panels. Go team! I guess disconnecting the world is super easy. A footnote, really. So now the virus can only spread through people. The most dangerous of enemies. They set up safe zones, one of them being Themyscira. Even though they're really reluctant to do it, they're all, ugh, men and their world, here, they're gonna wreck it. Diana has to be all, the entire world is ending, before they go, fine, I guess. but they have to have their own zone. So Clark and Diana bring up land masses from the sea to expand it, and the comic takes the time to say that it's paradise no longer. Yeah, I'm super sorry all those displaced zombie refugees ruined your paradise. How dare they? Why was Darkseid not more considerate about what this could do to everybody? How are they gonna listen to the radio on pedestals now? Did you miss atonal Harley and Ivy? Cause they back. Ivy has turned Gotham into a garden, but just for her and Harley. She's murdering anyone who tries to come in. So this isn't no man's land, Ivy. Remember she saved all those children? Nah, just her and Harley. Batman, now Damian, Green Arrow, and Green Lantern, formerly Black Canary, all go to negotiate with her. How awesome is the death wall? So this is a Harley who is completely detached from all empathy for other people. In fact, when they learn Batman died, it's Poison Ivy who tells Damian she's sorry for his loss, not Harley. In what way is the Harley presented here a bad match for the Joker? Obviously take some of the factors of their relationship out and take this with a grain of salt, but everything presented here is far more in line with him. She seems very in tune with his chaotic, nihilistic, whatever worldview. Deathwall. Woo, come on, Red. You have some empathy blooming in your heart, says the woman who loves the kill wall. Still, that convinces Ivy to open up her garden to survivors, because love in the zombie apocalypse. But if they kill any plants, Ivy is exiling them, Krakoa style. Lex and Cyborg managed to make a new communications hub from the Fortress of Solitude. No longer that at all. Fortress of Communal Gathering. And then suddenly Lex seems to remember, oh right, I'm a villain, I guess. Time to be a jerk. He's proposing arcs, that humanity just needs to abandon the Earth and go out and start again. And Clark is really against this for reasons, I guess just the principle of it. He says they need to fight and stay on the planet. And here's where the cliff notesing of everything else going on comes into play. What is the state of the rest of the world? Because I have no idea. We've only seen a few snippets and we haven't been told really anything else. So we just have to fill in the gaps based on the knowledge that we have. And all the knowledge that has been presented to us is it's horrible, it's all ending, and that there's very little hope. So for all I know, Lex is right. I don't have enough information to really agree or disagree with either of them except on base, uninformed emotional response. I already assumed that John was melted Homelander style. I'm not doing that again. Losing 2 homeworlds in one lifetime. How careless. Why would he say this? I know why, so Lois can punch him and we gotta, whoa. You go, girl. You don't mess with Superman because Lois is gonna come and punch you in the face. Don't mess with her, man. You had your chance, Lex. That is no way at all implied. That's just me saying that. However, this is odd based on the Lex we've seen here. We've seen very little of him, and what we have seen of him is sad and regretful about everything that's happening to the Earth. Also, earlier he called himself the smartest man alive because Batman/Bruce is dead, but I don't know when Batman got promoted to smartest man on the entire planet. Seems kind of a bold promotion, but that's just me. Put that in a box. I mean, being the smartest man alive didn't save him, did it? So if Lex is the smartest man alive 2.0, which although that's actually kind of fair for him, that has been a character trait he's had pretty much since inception, then he knows that Clark was never on Krypton. So that's just a silly false equation. I don't know, I would just think that if you were the smartest man, you'd want your digs to make sense and really have no comeback. They're just so intelligent, the person's just sitting there with a no you kind of response. I mean, it actually does work if you don't overanalyze it like I did, but I overanalyze everything. That's why you're here. Anyway, Lois punches him. Hooray! More cliff notes. So they're organizing all these survivors and building all these arcs, but apparently nobody thought to make a checklist of who's here, who's not here, and who can we pinpoint who's been infected, and maybe we should go out and check for some of these people, the heavy hitters. Seems kind of important. But because of this, nobody went, huh, where's Martian Manhunter? One of the most terrifying of all of us. You know, with the telepathy, the phasing, the shape shifting, the density shifting, and many, many other powers. So he wasn't dead, and he finds his way to the fortress and begins attacking the heroes. He slices Lex in half and ends up infecting the Flash before Firestorm destroys him with fire, his one weakness, his kryptonite. So now we gotta play on the whole who's faster, Superman or the Flash? Superman has so many things. Let the Flash have this one thing. He's the fastest man alive. Let him have that. Superman, leave him alone. And this comic actually does. It acknowledges that Superman couldn't catch up to him, so he has to devise another way to stop him. His plan is to fly the opposite way and then meet him midway, because the Flash is running around just infecting people left and right. So Clark, he's flying around the world the opposite way, and he has a brilliant plan, and it's a neck snap. It's not actually, I mean, this would have been a great time for a neck snap or a neck off, which we're gonna see later. But instead, he just flies right through him him, and as a result of this phasing, he gets a part of him stuck in his side, and well, now he's infected. But he has special Trinity Golden Age character privileges, like Batman before him, so he gets to go back to the fortress and have a heartfelt moment with his family. But he connects to them via the Speed Force and Wallace, so a bit less time than Batman had with his cryogenic Mr. Freeze suit. Ma, thank you for finding me, for raising me, for teaching me. Thank you for giving me your name and your values and your empathy. My world ended, and you and Pa gave me another one. Lois, I have absolutely no regrets. I honestly don't know how I got so lucky. I crossed an ocean of stars, and somehow I found you. Thank you for choosing me. The two share one last kiss before Clark flees, and our narrator is revealed to be Lois. So that was very heartfelt, and it moved me. But I also have a question. Are all of Lois's articles written this melodramatically? Because if that is the case, I want to read them all. Is this how she covered the ping pong tournament? Little throwback puzzler joke for you there. Continuity, it matters. Clark unfortunately doesn't make it and can't kill himself before the virus takes hold, which is our setup for the final issue. So full disclosure, this has not been my favorite issue of the bunch. In my very humble opinion, the pacing felt rather rushed, as if there was the sudden realization of, oh god, there's only one issue left, we have to do so much. This is because some of the things that were set up as a big deal were just dealt with in a couple of panels, and suddenly quite a lot happens very rapidly. The character moments cut way down, and humor creeps up. This series does being dramatic and heartfelt very, very well. The goodbyes are poignant, and it manages the horror of these characters being infected and what that would mean for the world very, very well. It's a nightmare scenario, and it treats it as such, but the humor is much more of a miss for me. And I say that, of course, fully acknowledging that humor is very subjective, but the jokes rely very much on a separation from the horrific environment, particularly the Ivy Harley stuff, who I'm pretty much only supposed to care about because they're Harley and Ivy, as they're almost entirely divorced from the narrative itself. They could not care less about this apocalypse, and that's what this entire story is about. Welcome to paradise, don't step on the grass. Seriously? Don't. At least Ivy is caring more about plants again. That's something. Lex's arc, or well appearance, is super rushed, and he has character whiplash from I'm so sad this happened, let me help, to haha, smug Lex returns. For me, little moments like that take me out of the narrative and the immersion rather than drawing me more into it. It's not really a refresher or break from the horror for me, but a severance from it. Okay, we're 5 issues in, and this has been pretty dark, but I think we could be darker. It doesn't feel as big as it could. I don't know, is that the vibe any of you are getting? Still, they got me with that Superman. That was rough. I had chills while I was reading it. You can't see because I'm warm in my Batman sweater. Also, Superman, that's a really great soliloquy to just pull out of a hat as you slowly lose your sense of self to a zombie, or I'm sorry, blight infection. I'm also a fan of taking out major players and pushing their kids into the forefront. Legacy John and Damian Super Sons reunite. Besties assuming mantles. I'm here for it. So, cliff notes. The use of drama is still very effective. The humor is a miss for me, and the pacing seemed a little rushed so that we could hurry up and get to the climax, but maybe I just have a heart of stone. I probably do. Take that, John. Tell me your thoughts down below before we finish this off with issue 6. Clean sweep style. What even is your optimal ending in a zombie story? Because I feel like they can be very difficult to conclude, and sometimes a story lives or dies on how it ends. I'm Sasha, thanks so much for watching Casually Comics, and please do all of the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. And I'll see you again soon. My hands are on my hips. Why? Bye.